One of the most beautiful reasons to use herbs for children is that they respond so well.
Inside of all of us, we have a generation of cells, and a generation of cells. And those cells, at one point in time, were very familiar with eating wild food, wild herbs. They know how to break it down. It's not something that has to figure out what to do. It's not this synthetic molecule that it has to figure out how to break. So when we, specifically, and children, are working with herbal medicine, each one of our cells already has it's like a blueprint of that medicine molecule that's there. So the body knows how to digest it and knows what to do with it.
One of my greatest teachers has been my own child, because I've learned so much in terms of observing how she responds to plant medicines. And it's been a wonderful experience for me to see how well she responds to them, and how, having had herbs from the start, that she will drink medicinal teas. She has herbs in her diet that she eats. She will take them in tincture or glycerate form, because they're familiar to her and she's used to the tastes of them. And so that's been an interesting thing for me, because often I have trouble initially when I treat children who've been on the soda pop and sugar diet, getting used to having medicinal herbs in their diet.
I'm a firm believer in teaching children about herbs from their earliest days. I did that. I have a son that's now 20 years old, and from the time he was a very small child, I would say, would you go out in the garden and pick some thyme? And of course, he doesn't know what thyme is, so he'd ask me about it, and I'd lead him out, and I'd show him where that little plant was and show him how to pick it properly. After that, all I had to do is send him out, and he would know exactly where to go.
At home, we use natural medicine a lot, and we use herbs, and we've used them very closely with our own two children who are fairly young, and we find them very effective, very safe to use.
The key to healthy children at any age is identifying and eliminating their food allergies. What we don't understand is that the symptoms we commonly see in children, such as indigestion, colic, constipation, diarrhea, eczema, cradle cap, hyperactivity, skin rashes, and even recurrent infections, can all be due to food allergies. So we have to take them out of the diet in order to keep our kids healthy and happy.
The important thing is if you introduce them at a fairly young age. I mean, children are not born with any particular taste buds. They just, they acquire them. And not normally the first thing that a lot of people tend to give them is sugary things, but salty things and things without sort of this really, really sweet taste are fairly good for kids too. And something like peppermint is very nice, it's a very nice flavour. Chamomile's a really nice flavour. And there's other relaxing herbs like lemon balm, just to help them to sleep at night. There's lavender, so, you can do a lot with children's minor sort of ailments with herbs.
Well, I think the children's herb that I like more than anything else is lovely chamomile. It's easy, it's simple, it's safe. Anything from a child who's fractious or anxious, you'll get chamomile oil and one dab of oil, and the child will calm down, settle down, and be happy and laughing again. Use as a tea, use as anything else, and children start to, get over their minor coughs and colds, their tummy upsets, and the usual thing that mothers have with children. And if necessary, mum can take some, and it makes a lot better. So it's a lovely herb.
One important herb for children is catnip. Catnip is a carminative. It helps to soothe babies and helps them to relax and fall asleep. So if you have a colicky baby, catnip would be perfect for it.
The yarrow was really good. My granddaughter had asthma when she was born. Her windpipe wasn't big enough. She wasn't supposed to be born for another month or whatever. And her wheezing was so strong, really loud. And we gave her just a half a teaspoon in her milk, and that stopped that.
Some of the ones that are fairly commonly used amongst children are ones like cherry bark. It's a syrup for coughs. chamomile was mentioned, which can be used for, insomnia or hyperactivity with children. Passion flower, catnip can be used for sleep disturbance, that type of thing. So there's a lot of nice gentle herbs that, again, nature has provided us that can be used very well. And even something simple as peppermint tea for any sort of minor digestive ailments, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, and it's very, very effective, right from young babies right up to young infants and teenagers. Herbs are very gentle and very effective.
Another one that might be great is Johnny Jump Ups. They have cute little faces. They're harmless to eat, and they can be thrown into drinks or salads, and the kids can do it themselves. Women throughout the ages have used this little plant for childhood whooping cough, bronchitis, eczema, particularly if there's a milk allergy, and for minor bladder infections.
When I think about children and essential oils, it's really important to remember that they are small, and that what may be an okay amount of essential oil for an adult is not for children. And the most popular essential oils, or most appropriate essential oils for young children, are chamomile, lavender, and mandarin.
With children, of course, safety is a #1 factor. So rather than teaching a child, don't put anything in your mouth, or, no, and panicking the minute that a child, puts a plant in their mouth, what you do is you bring them out as part of their general education, and you say, this is good to eat, this plant is prickly, this plant doesn't taste very good, and they can taste something like dandelion and see that it's bitter, and they won't want it because children want a sweeter flavor.
It's almost as if children have not been told that these herbs won't work for them, or that they need to be scientifically proven. So there's an incredible response mechanism that happens between the two of them. You don't need to use high doses. You don't need to use big fancy compounds. Single herbs, simple combinations of herbs work really well with children.